Hello everyone, it's Birdie here, the Recycled Hippie Chick. Oh my goodness, so much has happened since I've talked to you last. Okay, I have been watching Recrafted by Carol, okay? Kind of been binge watching her. I watched one video of a walkthrough that she did, and on the inside cover she had this flippy doodah that I was obsessed with, and I wanted to make one. So I set out to rewind and watch to try to figure out if I could make one for my journal. Well, this is all the farther I got. Let's see here. Okay, so how this works, you'll just have to go. I'm gonna link her in down below. What does Linda call it? Down in the basement. So it's like, this is your book, okay? And you open the book up. Of course, there will be a spine here. And then you have this flippy that goes up, and then she had cool stuff here, and then she had this flippy that came out, and then she had something else. It was just this cool flippy. Well, this is all the farther I've gotten because I cannot figure it out for the life of me how she did it. So here's my Carol's flippy doodah sitting here unfinished. So I'm just gonna have to stick it aside. I have requested to her, please, Carol, do you already have a process video? If you do, let me know so I can find it. I have been binge watching her videos to try to find if she has a process video on that flappy. And I have seen so many other fun ideas because I'll run across, you know, something cool that she's doing and I'll have to stop and make it. This was one of them. She made this envelope. Hers looks completely different than mine because, you know, when you go to make it yourself, you make it your own, and it's just amazing how different things are. So you open this one up, and then you lift the little flippy on the envelope, and then you have a writing area here you can write in. And you flip it up, and you have this secret little compartment here that you can stick something in, which I haven't made anything yet. And then over here, you have this cute little, you know, whatever you call it, tuck spot that you can stick something in. And then here, you have another little pocket you can stick something in. So I have not made tags for this yet. And then of course here you want to put something cool so that you can see it through the window. So you'll want to probably custom make something. Anyway, go to Carol's Recrafted by Carol and watch her do that one. Fun also. Okay, then I noticed she made these little cards. She just put a picture on one, and then she tore it all the way around just to, I don't know, make it look grungy, actually, in my world. And no, I can't throw that away. I'll use that for something else. So she just tore it all around. Probably should have put my journaling spot on the back first before I did this. Yeah, let me get rid of that one. And then of course she had a little journaling card. Simple as that. I run across these pictures in books that are just too cute. Of course this is shiny, and I'm sorry. Turn it this way a little bit, maybe that'll, see if you can see it. Yeah, I run across these. This one here I'm going to put in my journal. Look at these mosquitoes. They are sharpening their pokies on a knife sharpener. These back here are singing a song. These back here are, what are these doing? Oh, they're drinking. It's got blood in there. Maybe they're emptying out. I don't know. But these are going off to my house. I thought that was adorable, so I want to put that in mine. Anyway, so I'm watching Carol one morning because, you know, I get up with hubby and I get him off to work. And then I go back to bed a lot of times because I just cannot hardly maneuver in the morning. But when I go back to bed, I just kind of watch YouTube or whatever for a little bit on my phone until I fall back to sleep and then get up at about 10. So I'm watching Carol and she goes, and I'm not sure where Carol's from. She does have an accent, but I'm not sure where she lives. So she's just the cutest thing. At the beginning of her video, it shows her little camper like mine. If you guys seen my little camper walk through at the very beginning way back when it's been a few years ago that I did a walkthrough of my itty bitty camper. Well, at the beginning of her YouTube, there it is. This cutest little itty bitty camper like mine. And sure enough, Carol is inside of the camper saying, "Welcome to mobile crafting," you know. She's in her itty bitty doing crafts. Now, I have done this 100 times, but I've never videoed it. I just packed together what I may have done one in my Silver Bullet. I may have done one in it. It's not actually a camping camper. It's retired, but it's in my backyard, and I go out there and do art sometimes. Anyway, she got together only what she just made like a little travel pack of supplies. She took it out to her camper. It's all winterized and done for the winter, and she does her video in her little bitty, and she says it's mobile crafting. And it's the cutest thing, and it inspired me so much. Carol, you just don't even know what it did to me. You see the positive, and I'm Negative Nancy, and I just see the negative. So you inspired me. You inspired me. I have been depressed about working in my art room because it's becoming winter and I don't have a heater out there. It's in my old garage, my old 2-car garage. And I feel guilty about starting up the heater out there because, you know, it may take me 2 months to sell a journal for $30. And I'm pretty sure I've used more than $30 worth of propane to heat that art room up. So I feel guilty. You know, I'm trying to sell my art journals to contribute since I can't work. I really don't want to just be buying propane with it for a leisure room. So I'm watching Carol do this mobile crafting, and I'm like, that's it. I am going to take that concept that she's doing and bring it in the house. So here I am. I'm in my spare bedroom. It's the kids' room where the grandkids spend the night. I decided to pack up a few things, bring it in here, and make it a challenge like Carol did. She did all of her crafting that day only with what she had. Yes, she has a full art room of supplies inside, but she was in her camper, and she had to make the best out of what she had with her. So I got my little 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 little 6-drawer tower thing. You know, those little plastic, you know, they have little drawers in them. I got a 6-drawer caddy, whatever you want to call it. It's sitting on my table over here. Hi, Isabella Johnson. And I filled it full of goodness. Look here, a journaling card. Ta-da. Thank you, Carol. And I brought it in the house. In the spare bedroom. And all I can do is work out of it with whatever I have. That's my challenge. Instead of being depressed because I can't go out in my art room all winter, I'm going to make the best of it, and I'm going to do mobile crafting. And I am going to consider it a challenge, and it's going to be fun, and I'm going to do it, and I'm going to make beautiful stuff. Now, I have made about 50 trips out to the art room, and I have a little old-fashioned buffet sitting here to my right that has a long drawer in the center of it, and I have actually filled it up too. But the fun thing is my art room is so completely packed that it's still a challenge to just use what I have. So I am in here doing my thing. I have been coffee dyeing book pages and paper. I've been baking lately, well, you know, Master Chef Birdie made a frozen pizza tonight. So, of course, I turned the oven on to do that. And when I shut the oven off, I have a 1950s Gibson stove, and it stays hot for quite some time. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to get some papers, and I'm going to coffee dye until that oven cools down. So every time I bake, I'm going to coffee dye after I've shut the oven off. How brilliant is that? I won't even have to turn it on to do anything. So that's what I've been doing. And all from the inspiration of Recrafted by Carol. Isn't it amazing that you guys don't realize that you are affecting someone else's life when you do one of these videos, but you are. We are our own tribe, and we help each other, and I just absolutely love it. I really, really do. I'm going to try to make this look kind of coffee dyed like the rest of this page. I'm pretty sure you can write over this with ink pen. Has anybody tried that after they've inked their journaling spot? Have you written over it? Pretty sure you can. I always leave journaling spots, but very seldom journal on my own. I found a great need that I needed to do that before I'm gone for my kids, so they could learn a little bit more about me, because they really don't seem interested. You know, they have young kids and they're in their own life, and I thought, you know, when they get older, maybe they'll be interested in my childhood and my life. And so I take the pictures and I write, you know, a little something about them when I put it in my junk journal. And I've been really thinking, geez, I've got to get after this, because when I'm gone, you know, I don't want them to go, Mom didn't write anything on the back of a photograph. Well, Thanksgiving kind of confirmed I'm not going to rush about it anymore, because I even have been taking pictures on the wall. Like, let's say this is my great-great-grandfather, and I'll take it off the wall, and on the back I'll stick a sticky note that tells who it was, what side of the family, blah, 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 and put it back on the wall. But there's still a lot of things in my house I haven't done that to. And I was, at Thanksgiving, I was telling my daughter, you know, make sure you look on the back of stuff when I'm gone, because I've written stuff down. And she just went, like that. And I said, oh, I suppose you're not interested in anything, you know, on my walls or anything when I'm gone. And she went, And then she made this sign, shh, like she was just going to burn it, set everything on fire. Somebody said, well, you're having an estate sale or something. I said, nope, I'm going to get rid of everything first so my kids don't have to go through that. And she said, and whatever's left, you know, like she was going to light a fire. I'm like, okay, that just tells me I don't need to worry about putting stories on the back of all this stuff because obviously my kids don't care. Okay, so on another one of these flippy floppy things, Carol had this, what looked like a multi-faceted pocket. So I tore pages out the best I could to recreate it. And I'm sure I'm not doing it like she did. I don't know. But I'm gonna attempt to put it together, and it'll be several pockets in here. I don't know if we'll be able to, if this will work or not. So Carol, girlfriend, you need to get busy and make some process videos so I know what I'm doing here. Okay, so I'm not sure where. I think this one should go on first, and then this one. I don't know how she did it. Okay, so if we do this, we can definitely go down this side and this side of this one. Okay, if we put this one underneath, we can go this way and it can sit there. And then we put this one, it can go clear down. Because if we put this one on top, this one's going to stop here and this one's going to stop here, which isn't really going to hurt anything, because this is going to cover it up. I'm going to do it like this. I'm going to put this one first because you don't want your tag to get lost way down in there. So we'll see if this is right. Okay, this I think could use some structure back here. Some strengthening, because this is just an old book page. How about let's go over it with some washi tape. Let's do that. And we all know that washi tape is not strong, so let's glue it. Oh gosh. Let's glue it as we put it on. And I took my tip off of my glue and let it soak because it was getting pretty clogged. So I don't know if this is okay if I adulterate this tip and use it anyway. Because see, I took my metal tip off, but I'm going to. So if you're cringing, I'm sorry. I am too lazy to push pause and go in and finish cleaning it out. I've got it soaking on the sink with Murphy's Oil soap. And I'm just too lazy right now to go in there. And I can't get my head over that to see if I've got everything straight, because I'll be in your way. Okay. And how many of you, I know my friend Loretta is, how many of you are doing Louisa Heinzel and 49 Dragonflies Defemberemba. I don't even know how to say it. It's like December and ephemera all in. They've made up their own word for it. They're making every day of the month. I think it's till the 26th. I'm not sure. Every day of the month, or is it only till the 26th of ephemera in December? So that should be cool. I've just been I'm attempting to do a Christmas journal, and I hate making them, so it's really got my brain goofy. So I haven't been able to think about doing Defemberemba. But, oh, here, I know. Okay, fine. Stop yelling at me. I will. I'll do it this way. I know that's what you're saying. Put the glue on the paper instead of the tape. I'm sorry. I didn't hear you. I was too busy gabbing. But the vibe came through, okay? There. That better? Gives us a little more strength. So I went over to Loretta's house. She's one of my watchers. And she just happens to live in my town. And, do I have that right? Yes. Okay, let's glue this one on first. And I took her those little signatures, you know, that I made with you guys, that Louisa Heinzel showed you how to grunge up your signatures by whacking them with a hammer on the edge. I took one of my signatures, or a couple, I don't remember how many was there, over to Loretta, because she is so, she's like 49 Dragonflies. She's just very, everything is very with it, and clean cut, and good, and nice, and polite. And so I told her she needed some grunge in her life, so I took her some of those. Well, I took her a pumpkin log. Took her 2 pumpkin logs. Thank you, Loretta, for buying my pumpkin logs. She's actually Carol to me, but she's Loretta on here, so I may call her Carol, I may call her Loretta. We just don't know. So I took her a couple pumpkin logs and some grunge signatures, and she's already made an art journal out of them. Here I sit in here for hours trying to figure out how to make a few pages of a Christmas journal, and she's already made a whole journal. And grunge is out of her element, and she's figured out how to put it together. And here I can't even put together a stupid Christmas journal. I'm only going to make one and sell it. And when it's gone, it's gone. Because I am not... going to attempt more. This is really thick here. Maybe that's too thick. This is a page out of the Trader Joe's flyer that they hand out. And I like it because it looks like old newspaper. So I'm going to make a pocket out of it. But you know how newspaper is. It is so fragile. I will tell you, when you take that little tip off, the flow is much more. So be careful. So this really is going to need some strengthening up. I'm going to start it down here because I can't see that upper edge when I'm doing a video. There we go. Now, when I rip this apart, I think I'm going to put one of those divots in it. And then we're going to grunge it up a little bit. Okay, now, a friend of mine, what's the name of that video I just watched? A friend of mine messaged me today and asked me if I'd seen this video on YouTube today. It's called, I just watched it before I came to you guys. It's called Root Cause, full movie documentary. And it's a bunch of doctors who have found out that a lot of illnesses come from old root canals in your, there's two ways you can get sick. One's from old root canals, and one's from having a tooth pulled and them not cleaning out that cavity very well. And then it causes yuckiness, in which when you go to a regular dentist, the x-rays they take are only in 2D. Or is that right? And so that they don't show all of this gunk that's in there. You may not be sick. Your mouth may not hurt or anything, but it causes thyroid problems. I guess your teeth are hooked into the nervous system part of your brain, and I'm probably butchering all this, so you probably ought to go on and watch the documentary yourself. That causes cancer and everything else in your body. And if you get that out, then that other stuff kind of goes away. So they say when you have an autoimmune disease or something like that, it's your body, or cancer. They said every woman who has had breast cancer had a root canal. So we need to really pay attention. They were saying how doctors and dentists really need to get together on people's health. Of course, nobody cares about your health anymore because it's all a money-making thing. You know, look at the money they're making on root canals. If everybody knew they made some people makes you sick, well, there wouldn't be any money in it. They said root canals actually originated back when rich people, poor people, anybody actually, when you had tooth issues, you just had it pulled. Well, rich people started saying, I don't want to look poor by having a space in my mouth, so can you fab something to put in there? And so people started doing root canals to save that tooth just so you wouldn't look poor with a space there. And they said that a root canal is a dead tooth, and that's the only thing in our body that dies that we don't remove. If you have an issue with your toe and your toe dies off, the toe has to be removed. Your arm, whatever, has to be removed. But they've found a way to taxidermy teeth and leave them in your body, and it's not healthy. Not healthy. Which I completely agree with what they're saying, but poor people can't afford to be healthy. I can't afford to have all this stuff done because this stuff is not done by a regular dentist. You have to go to a holistic dentist. And you know holistic dentists aren't going to be covered by your insurance. So we can't afford to be healthy. I'm just going to strengthen it that much because this will be the main part that's used. And I don't want to waste another big piece of paper. Well, that would cover quite a bit. But up here where it's hooked on would still rip easy. I'm going to have to. Dagnabbit. Anyway, I thought it was very interesting. I love documentaries, so... And it kind of was odd because one of my new friends that I have made from having Lyme, she lives in St. Louis, and she goes to the same doctor I do. And I met her through there, and she has had to have what they talked about on here, on this documentary. They talked about a decavitation surgery, where they go open those places up where you've had root canals or teeth pulled and clean out that cavity and get all that sterilized so that it's not making you other parts of your body sick. They're saying it called people with cancer have had these issues, people with arthritis, people with all kinds of stuff got very much better after they had these procedures done. But, you know, who can afford it? She had it done. My Lyme doctor told me about it because I have some other issues that don't have anything to do with Lyme, and he asked me had I thought about seeing a holistic dentist. I'm like, what? I didn't even know what one is. So he gave me a paper on where they're located around here and, you know, who they are. I think I have to go to Kansas City is the closest place, which is 3 hours from me. to see a holistic doctor. And then, of course, I'm sure insurance doesn't cover it. Most anything holistic is not covered by insurance. So I'm just going to pretty much, you know, I'm forced to be possibly unhealthy in those areas because I can't afford it. So, but it's still interesting to watch. So if anybody's interested, you might jump over there and check out The Root Cause full movie documentary. It's actually done by this filmmaker boy who was sick, and he couldn't figure out why he was so tired, had extreme fatigue, all this stuff, impotence, or whatever you call it, you know, when, you know, a man can't do his duty. Is that impotence? I'm not sure. Anyway, he had all kinds of stuff, and he's a very young guy, and he was going in search of what could be done. He'd tried everything under the sun, cleanses, all kinds of, you know, stuff, until he saw a guy that actually did a test on him and said, you have tooth problems. He's like, I do? Because he didn't know he had tooth problems. He didn't hurt. So he told him he needed to see somebody about his teeth, and he found out this holistic dentistry, and they showed him exactly which teeth he was having problems with, and now he is much, much better. He said he didn't heal him overnight. It took quite a while. But he had been trying things for years, and now he's healing. So he's a filmmaker. He said, so maybe there was a reason it happened to me, because I'm a filmmaker, and now I can make this documentary on it and try to get the word out there to help people. We are just putting this baby together. Carol, if you're watching, you can critique me and let me know if I'm doing it right. I don't think I'm going to put any tape on that. And then if I had a sewing machine in here, which I am not dragging in, I would sew around it. But what I might do is just make a pile to sew, and on a really nice day, I can just take my pile out there and just sew. Won't that be a great idea? Okay, let's see what we can do. Okay, we have pocket here. We have a pocket here. We have a pocket here. And we have a pocket here. So that's a 4-pocket. And if you, oh, isn't that pretty? If you put this in your book, in your book page, and sewed it on 3 sides, you could have a book between here and the book page. So you could have even another spot. So there you go. Let's see how long I've been gabbing with you, and I haven't even began to tell you what all I've been doing. 34 minutes. We probably ought to stop. Well, we'll talk another time. Okay. Thanks for playing with me. I think we got quite a bit done today, didn't we? We got a big old pocket and 2 cards. This one's going in my box. I need to keep my things separate. And I think I'm going to go to bed. My brain is mush, and I'm just not in the mood to try to figure out the Christmas thing tonight. You want me to show you real quick what I've got done? I can do that in my mess here. Okay, I've got 2 signatures of papers. This is just, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to, I think, make a tuck that you just tuck this in and you can pull it out because it's a big image that I thought was adorable and I didn't want to mess it up. So I just put some music on the back and collaged a little bit. This was White Christmas sheet music by Irving Berlin. And oh, I just thought that was cool that it was original sheet music. So that'll go in a tuck spot. I found this little gnome. I think it was on a, it doesn't matter, Kleenex box. I made a tag. Don't know where I'm going to put these yet. This is a big envelope that had Christmas, you know, pictures on. Here's a flippy. An envelope that a little sticky going on here. An envelope that I tea-dyed, you know, and I glued the flappy onto the, page, and then I put this little, I think this is from Carol also. I think I learned this from her too. Put a little booklet inside. No, I think this is from Shabby Dabby Doodah. I learned this from. And then you can tuck something down in here. Whoops, which I need to glue that. Let's do it. Let's glue it right now because out of sight, out of mind. You know what I'm learning, because I'm not used to gluing. I'm not used to tea dyeing envelopes, that you do lose some of your adhesive sometimes when you're tea dyeing, when you soak it in that tea. So there's that. And then I just put some ribbon here on this. And this was a centerfold of a storybook, and I thought it was cute. It was each page of a storybook, so I thought, well, I'll put one on each half, but it was a little long over here, so I just folded it in, and somebody can doll it up themselves. I'll have to figure out something to do to this other side. I thought about just putting some, what do you call it, craft paper over this, gluing it here and here, and having a pocket on this page. I may still do that. So there's one signature, and I'm not done. I'm still working on it. It's taken me forever, and I don't know why. I love this one. This was my friend Loretta. I saw in one of the pictures she sent me of her grunge journal, where it looked like she just tore brown paper and made a pocket. So I made one of those, and I put one of those little, you know, greeting cards down here you put on somebody's gift as a little, oop, I think I'm going to leave that there. And I had years ago attempted to watercolor and made a poinsettia on an old brittle book page. So I just glued the book page down and stuck this journaling card in there. And this was part of an envelope, and this was the flappy flap, so I just glued it on there because it's pretty. And this book page had a rip at the bottom, so I just mended it with some music paper. And this over here is just a magazine picture that was the flappy flap of this envelope. And I think Carol, again, showed me that the opening of the envelope is hard to get stuff in. So you just cover it up and cut this end open. And that can be your new pocket. So I have a pocket there. I have a pocket here where I covered it up. I just sewed it on 3 sides. And I have a pocket here. So what do you think about that, Carol? How's this happening? This should be coming open. Magazine image. This is stuck. Isn't that brilliant? Please don't rip. Okay, McDonald's bag. I made a belly band from watching Shabby Dabby Doodah last night and stuck that in there. And a calendar picture. And oh dear, it goes like that. And this was just a whole booklet of that I got in that free stuff of different papers. So I just left them attached, and I'm just using those as my pages. Napkin. And what I'm going to do is reinforce. I'm going to cut a piece of this and reinforce it and make a pocket in here with that. And this needs to go in here like that. So that's my other signature. My attempt at a Christmas journal. So I have not got a cover thought out yet, and I'm sure I've got a lot more stuff to stick in there. So tabs and ruffles down the edges and all that good jazz. So I got to hurry up and get it done and get it on my Etsy shop. Anyway, there you go. I'm wore out. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye from Birdie. Oh, you know what? Dag nabbit. Here it is. I broke my phone, and it does not work with my finger. It only works with this S Pen, so I can't even shut it off from videoing until I find my S Pen. Oh, that glare is terrible. These ring lights, I'm not sure about them. Bye-bye from Birdie.